After a beautiful day yesterday, the weather's kind of turned cloudy and rainy and drizzly today, and it's quite cool too. So I've been working on getting the plant room ready so I can finish the work from inside. I've got the bottom of the room covered in now, just with tar paper, and that'll keep it a little warmer inside so I don't get that wind blowing up through the openings here. Inside the plant room here, I've got the roof all kind of fixed up so I can work underneath installing all the rafters or the roof joists from inside here. So I can work away. It can be raining outside or cold, and I can work away in here and do all the framing of the roof anyway. The plywood sheets on top will have to be done when the weather's a little better, but that should go fairly quickly. I've got my first 2x4 plate up here on top of the pieces above the windows. So I've got 2 more plates to go on there to bring it up even with the existing part of the sloped roof over there, so it'll all match. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm working away inside, getting those plates up top. Even though the room isn't heated, it's still a lot better than working outside in the drizzling rain. So I'm kind of glad to have this roof in place, this temporary roof. And yeah, I can do everything indoors here out of the weather. It's getting towards the end of another day. It was a bit of a frustrating day. I have my other top plate. It's doubled up now on top of the above the windows there. So you can see up here I've got 1 more to go, and that's on the floor down here. And remember, I had a beam in the way here. It was a partial beam that just slightly sat on the top plate, and I debated whether to keep it, and then I thought, oh, it's just going to cause problems. I want to put the full beam so it extends out to the fascia out in the outside for the overhang. And so I took it out. It wasn't easy to get out. It was really hard. And you can see the size of the nails up there that held it in. Holy. And then it was screwed in. I got the visible screws out at the header up there, but there was screws in from behind, and oh my God, it was hard to cut out. It really it was a bit of a frustrating day. However, I am now to the point where I can put that top header plate up there now. And this triangle shape here, I've decided I'm going to cut it back to the beam, probably this beam back here, and make a rectangle out of there so I'm not joining on the angle, which won't have any support. So I'll fix all that up. And yeah, so I made progress today. I shouldn't be as frustrated as I am, because I did make good progress. It's just, I don't know, sometimes you start in the morning and you have these illusions of getting all this work done, and sometimes it takes twice as long. And this was one of those days. It just took a long time. So this wall here, this wall has never joined the ceiling. So I'm going to put a 2x4 on the angle up top where it hits the plywood, and then some vertical support. So I'll build kind of a structure on top of the existing wall to bring it right up to the ceiling. So instead of putting a beam across there, I'll just build it up. That way I can insulate it all, and it'll be the right width. It'll be the 3.5 inches wide, and it'll be a good support wall for the roof there. Last night we did get heavy rain, and once again the roof held in place. It was amazing. It kept it dry in the room, and it was raining this morning, and I was still able to work under the tarps up here, getting all those top plates in on the wall here. So that was really, really nice to be able to work in the rain. Work is continuing on the plant room. I've got my wall up here all finished. I've got all my pieces across the top. I'm working on joists now, and you can see them outside. These are all my roof joists. I've got 2 of them cut, and I've got the wood preservative on them, and I've got a few more to go, and I'm hoping that today I can finally get some roof joists up just to replace that temporary ones. I've got my plate for the top of the wall there fitted. It's over here. I went out yesterday and got all my nails for the joists. So that's what they look like. So that'll make it good and strong. I'm short one roof joist, so I'm gonna have to go out and buy one. And I also need a 2x4x10. So I'm gonna do that too. So I get to drive the truck, which will be kind of fun. We've had a lot of rainy weather lately, so today it's sunny, warm t-shirt weather. So that's nice for a change. All right, it's time to fire up the beast and get that lumber. All right, let's get going here. 3 pumps. Took a little more that time. Seatbelt on. Window down. Put your arm out the window like that, see? All right, here we go. Yeah, it's been really cold and rainy lately. I've been working away at the plant room, but and you warm up when you're working. It's hard to get going in the morning some days. It's funny because at nighttime I'm really excited about working in the plant room. And I hate quitting at nighttime, but then in the morning it's hard to get going again. It takes you, you know, an hour or two before you kind of get into the swing of working again. I don't drive this truck in the winter time because all the roads get salted and it rusts out the vehicle. So yeah, it's getting kind of closer to November, and snow can come in November. So every time I drive the truck, I try and enjoy it because it might be the last drive of the year. And I don't use the truck very often. I just drive it when I need it. Ryan Riskies. Gear down. Oh, nice downshift there. And that's it. Let's go order our wood. Now I have to put my mask on. So that cost $40.66. I got a 2x4 by 10 foot long and a 2x8 by 12 foot long. So 2 pieces of wood, $40. Holy cow. So I'm just waiting for them to bring it out. Shouldn't be too long. Here it comes now. I've got my 2 pieces of wood loaded, and I'll show you what they look like. This is $40 worth. There it is. Hard to believe. But I mean, it's good that wood is expensive. Some poor tree had to die for that, so. I've just got to attach my red flag to the back of the wood, and then we'll get going. Head her out. Now, the next thing I have to get a buffer pad. I found my buffer, and I'm going to try shining up the truck a little bit. See if it works anyway. Put some polishing compound on it. Just a beautiful day today. Fantastic. But there's more rain in the forecast, so. And tomorrow night it's supposed to get really cold. Down to, I think we got 3 degrees tonight, above freezing. And then the next night it goes to -2. So below freezing. And I'm going to have to bring my some of my trees into the basement, I think. I can't risk the really good trees out in the greenhouse. Not when it's -2, that's just getting too cold. I may have to put a better heater in there. Maybe the one that I use in the plant room. That'll probably keep the greenhouse warm. I'll see. We've got all the pictures from the KW Bonsai Society in there. The deadline was on the 21st, so this weekend I'm hoping to put together a video of all the trees from the KW show. Yeah, so that'll be kind of exciting to see all the trees. I didn't get time to photograph my trees really nicely. I did that. I did the Schefflera quite nicely the one day, but I didn't get time to photograph all the others nicely, so I just had to use what I got, and I didn't get time to prepare my trees, so they're kind of it's just one of those years. But there's a few nice photographs. You know, the trees developed well this year. I just haven't got to pruning them yet, so that'll be coming up right here. Engine off. Yeah, so this is what I'm after. It's a buffer pad. It goes on your spinning buffer machine, and this one's just worn out. There's nothing on it, so I'm gonna try and get another one. Well, they didn't have a buffing pad, so I'm gonna have to give up and get working on the house. I've got my very first roof joist up in place. You can see it up there. It's the dark colored one. That is the true one I'm using. It fits really nicely. I'll show you it on this side. There it is. Fitting really nicely. I'll trim the ends off later once they're all up. So yeah, I'm ready to put number 2 up there. And you might be wondering, how do I put that up there all by myself? I don't have any help, so I'll show you how. I'm up here on the scaffolding, and I feed the joist in from outside. Like that. And then pushing down on the end of the board, I keep feeding it in until it sits on top of that little ledge I've screwed in place. So I can do it all by myself. So here I go. And then I'll turn it vertically, like that, and then get it up better. So that's roughly in place now. I'm just positioning it a little better now. It's a little hard to do, but not impossible. All right, that looks good. I'll do it from inside now. Okay. That's pretty close there. I'll have to adjust it on the other end now. Come over a bit more. I've got joist number 2 in place up there now. So now I've got to cut out, using my template, all the other joists and position them in place also. While the weather's good, I'm putting the wood preservative on all the roof joists. So I haven't got them all cut yet. I've got about half of them cut. And I thought I better just, get this on while the weather's warm and they'll dry. And then I can go, I'll have to touch up the ends when I cut them. So that'll be a lot easier than doing the whole things and in the cold weather. So yeah, that's coming along nicely. I'll be able to fit the remaining 2 roof joists on this side of the room today. And then this side, I've got to take down this temporary one, replace that joist plate, or what do they call it, a header, joist header. Replace that because it's rotted at the end. And then I can keep finishing the roof on this side. My tropical trees are all outside. They've been out for quite a few days, I think 3 days in a row. The temperature at night has been fairly warm, but tonight it's going down to 3 degrees Celsius, so 3 degrees above zero. So I don't want to risk having them outside in case there's frost. So some of them will be going into the greenhouse, the ones that I usually put in there, and the rest will be going back into the basement. So that's what I've got to do tonight while all my beams are drying all that wood preservative and the tar on them. So that's what I'm going to do now, start moving all the trees back into the basement. They've had their beautiful sunny spa day today, and now the wind's coming in and blowing in some cold weather. So I'm keeping track of my Schefflera, and I think it's looking really good right now. There's a nice level of foliage on it. It still looks miniature, but it looks lush and tropical too. So you can see the snake in there. Yeah, I kind of like it at this stage. It looks really nice. A few pine needles that have blown down in there. It's getting really windy out today. By having my tropicals outside, not only did they get a sunny day today, but they got watered twice. It rained twice on them out here, so they got a really good thorough watering. So now I can put them back in the basement, and they'll probably not need watering for almost a week because it's fairly cool and damp in the basement. So yeah, it's I think it's been really good for them having them outside. I've just finished putting all my trees down in the basement here, and there's still a greenhouse full of them. So they should be okay. It's 3 degrees tonight. I'll have the heat on. I should do fine. I'll show you the weather. It's really changed outside. Yeah, so the weather today has changed from nice and sunny to clouds, and I hear thunder in the background. So I think there's a big storm coming. Something's happening because right now it's t-shirt weather, and the low tonight is 3 degrees Celsius. So it's going to drop like over 20 degrees Celsius tonight. So there must be a major cold front coming in, which is too bad. I was really enjoying this warm day today. It's just fantastic. So all the trees are still doing well here. My larches are just starting to get some fall colors on them now. You can see some of the needles yellowing at the back there, but still quite green. And I talked to some other members of the club, and theirs are just starting to change this week too. So that's good. I'm glad mine are on track, I guess is the word. Yeah, so the greenhouse is stuffed full again. So if the weather gets really cold, my only plan is I have to fit all these trees from the greenhouse down into the basement somehow. It's going to be really hard. Hopefully the weather will stay reasonable and I can get the plant room done enough that I can move the trees in. The trouble is once I get the trees in the plant room, I can't work in there. It becomes, it's so full that there's just no room to do construction work or finishing work or anything. So, but if I can get it to the point where it's warm enough to keep them, good for the winter, then I'll be happy. I can do all the finishing next year. I can hear the thunder. So my last task for tonight is I want to move all my roof joists inside the plant room so they don't get soaking wet tonight, because I've just got that wood preservative on them. So I'll do that now, and that'll be it for today. The rain has come. I've moved all the beams inside. We're supposed to get some really heavy wind tonight, so I made sure I roped down the tarp really securely up there. So that should be good for tonight. And that's it for the day. Started with warm sunshine and it's ending with clouds and rain. So the trees are quite happy down here. There's a few that are kind of going dormant, like my mimosa here. You can see the leaves are yellowing, even the top ones. So I think it's a temperate tree, so they normally lose their leaves. So I think that would be okay. You know, it's cool down here. It would lose its leaves, and then springtime they'd come back. And I think the same with the acacias, although they seem to be quite green still. They've dropped, you know, a few leaves, but not very many, so maybe that'll come. My geranium bonsai, it was looking really dormant, and then I put it outside and it's kind of bounced back. It looks like it's springing back to life. So maybe that'll change once again down in the basement here. But other than that, everything's green and healthy looking still. So that's a good sign that they're fairly happy down here in the basement under the lights. There's something about the sound of rain, it just makes me sleepy and tired, and I want to go to bed.